welcome back, Music Maniacs, to another episode of Gibbs Drops the Needle. Today I got some news for you involving Bad Bunny, Kanye West, Morgan Wallen, and Frankie Valli. Starting off with Bad Bunny, this article from Billboard.com said he kicked off his 10-date Madrid residency at a completely sold-out Riyadh Air Metropolitano on May 30th with a journey through Dubai, Tarar, Photo, and some of the biggest hits in his catalog, and I apologize up front if I mispronounce anything. He performed for over 2.5 hours and alternated among celebratory moments, cultural references, and expressions of gratitude to a crowd that accompanied him song after song. He said, quote, "It feels good to be here in Madrid. Tonight we're going to sing a lot of songs we haven't sung before. I hope you're ready." End quote. The statement set the tone for a night in which Bad Bunny allowed himself to reflect on different stages of his career, while the audience turned practically every chorus into a massive sing-along. The setlist included hits like La Mudanza, Calata, Terista, Titi Me Pregunto, Me Porto Bonito, Yanaguni, and Dakiti, with the crowd maintaining their energy throughout the entire evening. During several moments of this show, the star reminded the audience that it had been almost 10 years since he had last performed in Madrid. His previous concert in Spain's capital was on July 14th of 2018 at what was then the Wissink Center. The artist took the opportunity to thank those who had supported him since the beginning of his career, saying, quote, "Coming back to Madrid and performing like this fills my heart. From day one, I will always remember this night as the night I came back to Madrid. Thank you for waiting for me so long," end quote. He would then later say, quote, "I'm ready to spend the next 3 weeks here," end quote. This Madrid residency is part of the first leg of his Dubai Tarar Photos World Tour, which began on November 21st of last year in Santo Domingo, Dominican Republic. According to the Billboard box score data, the tour has already surpassed $200 million in revenue and is one of the most successful tours of the year. I can only imagine how fulfilling it must be for him to stand up in front of crowds that speak Spanish and perform, and I'm sure that they really do appreciate his music a little more than maybe an American tour would. Not saying that he's not popular in America, he's very popular around the whole world, but I can only imagine for him being in front of a Spanish-speaking audience and having them able to recite the song lyrics back to him is just a really gratifying feeling. Speaking of concerts outside of the US, Kanye West reportedly drew a crowd of 118,000 to Istanbul's Ataturk Olympic Stadium on Saturday, May 30th, with the rapper claiming that it was the largest stadium performance in history. He said, quote, "I just want to tell you all, we just broke the record, 118,000 largest stadium performance of all time," end quote. The show, which began at 9 p.m. local time and evolved into an all-night festival-styled event featuring DJ sets, laser and light shows, pre- and after-party gatherings, and performances by Turkish artists including Yenir Sevik, Mavi, Sena Senir, Para, and Motive, drew fans from across Turkey and abroad, with attendees traveling from Russia, Kazakhstan, the UK, Germany, and the US and Poland. Organizers opened the stadium gates around 3 p.m. to manage the anticipated influx, with crowds quickly filling metro platforms and corridors across the city as showtime neared. Travis Scott would also join West on the stage during this show. This Istanbul date would mark the opening night of West's first European tour in 11 years, and it came after a summer of closures across the continent. In April, the UK government would deny West entry, ruling his presence, quote, "would not be conducive to the public good," end quote. leading to the cancellation of his Wireless Festival headline slot, which had already lost major sponsors including PepsiCo and Diageo. A Marseille show was postponed after French officials attempted to block it, and concerts in Poland and Switzerland were also cancelled. On the same day as the Istanbul concert, Italian authorities would ban West and Travis Scott from performing at a July show at the 103,000 seat RCF Arena in Reggio Emilia, citing security concerns following a request from consumer group Kodakans and Jewish communities in Modena and Reggio Emilia. West's commercial run ahead of the tour has been significant. His latest studio album, Bully, debuted at number 1 on the top R&B hip-hop albums chart upon its release earlier this year. His catalog includes 24 Grammy Awards and 10 Billboard 200 number 1 albums, making him one of the most decorated artists in chart history. This is all from Billboard.com. Moving on to an article from NME, Morgan Wallen ran into some technical difficulties during a Denver stop on his Still the Problem tour, as it seems that he is still the problem. On Friday night, May 29th, the country singer was drawing to the end of his show at Empower Field at Mile High Stadium and had kicked off the encore with Sand in My Boots, a fan favorite sing-along piano ballad. However, it appeared that Wallen actually couldn't hear the instrument as he played. In fan shot footage, he can be seen abruptly standing up mid-performance, opting to finish the song a cappella before heading back to the piano, which he then pushed over. He then wrapped up the show with Last Night and Whiskey Glasses. Many have compared this moment to a moment from Billy Joel flipping over his keyboard in frustration at an infamous Moscow concert in 1987. Wallen recently admitted that he hadn't visited a bar in over a year since he was arrested for throwing a chair off a rooftop bar, for which he was charged with 3 counts of reckless endangerment and 1 count of disorderly conduct. Per an arrest report on the situation, the chair landed just a few feet from police officers who happened to be standing in front of the Chief's Bar on Broadway, Nashville. In December of 2024, he pled guilty to 2 misdemeanors for reckless endangerment without a weapon, and was ordered to spend a week in DUI Education Center and to serve suspended sentence of 2 years of supervised probation. Wallen subsequently apologized, writing, quote, "I'm not proud of my behavior and I accept full responsibility," end quote. A year later, Wallen revealed that he hasn't visited a bar since, saying, quote, "It's definitely the best thing for me. You know, I ain't been in a bar since the last time I was in a bar that everyone knows about. The most public time I was in a bar, that's the last time I was in a bar," end quote. The star later attracted controversy for abruptly walking off the Saturday Night Live set after the singer was shown taking his leave off camera after only greeting guest host Mikey Madison goodbye. Shortly after, Wallen, who is based in Nashville, Tennessee, posted a much-memed Instagram story with a picture of his private jet and a caption that read, quote, "Get me to God's country," end quote. The SNL walk-off marked the latest in a long list of controversies for the singer, including a 2021 footage of him using a racial slur that surfaced online, causing him to be dropped by a number of radio stations as well as his record label Big Loud. Despite this, sales for his album Dangerous surged, which is honestly kind of sad that someone can use a racial slur and then their sales all of a sudden go up. That isn't speaking well of his fans, honestly. Sorry if you're a Morgan Wallen fan. Wallen maintained the number 1 spot on the Billboard 200 albums chart for a record-breaking 10 weeks. Wallen said he was embarrassed and sorry by his actions and asked fans not to defend him. Finally, today I talk about an article that I found on NME, where Frankie Valli canceled the remaining 2026 tour dates to, quote, focus on my health, end quote. The Four Seasons legend just turned 92. He made the announcement on Friday, May 29th, saying, quote, I'm so sorry to disappoint the folks who have purchased tickets to my shows, but I have decided to take the rest of the year off from touring to focus on my health, end quote. He wrote, though he did not provide any further details on the health concerns themselves, saying, quote, I'm looking forward to getting healthy and seeing you all again soon. He added, quote, thank you for all your good wishes, end quote. Frankie Valli was continuing his farewell tour called the Last Encores Tour, which began in 2023 until November of last year. His break from performing comes 2 years after he issued a statement addressing concerns over his health and well-being, sparked by footage that appeared to show him lip-syncing while displaying difficulty keeping up with the music. I don't know if you have seen this video, but I have seen multiple videos showing him performing recently, and honestly, it's great to see him up there at 92 years old, still being able to do anything at that age. Even taking on a long farewell tour at 92 years old can't be that easy. But it's obvious when you watch these videos, and I don't know, maybe they were a one-off kind of thing where you just caught him on a bad night. I haven't seen him live personally, so it's hard to say again whether this was just him having an off night or if this is what it's like every show that he does. But it does seem like he basically is just propped up there and singing. And from the video I saw, the way his mouth is moving, it doesn't seem like he's actually singing. It seems like more of a backing track situation with maybe some lip syncing involved. But if he's coming out and saying that he's fine and he's performing at his level, then I guess you gotta take him at his word until there is concrete proof out there otherwise. Valli later would address the public speculation, saying, quote, I absolutely love what I do, and I know we put on a great show because our fans are still coming out in force and the show still rocks, end quote. He is a legend. He has made many great songs, whether it be with his time as a solo artist or his time with the Four Seasons. As far as any plans to slow down, he has been quoted as saying, I plan to do shows as long as I can, delivering that great Four Seasons sound. Like that line in Jersey Boys, I'm like that bunny on TV that just keeps going and going and going, chasing the music, end quote. So it doesn't seem like he wants to slow down at all. He wants to be out there for his fans. Now, whether these health concerns end up being an end to his career is unknown, but it sounds like if he can, he will be back up on the stage performing for his fans, even at 92 years old. But I don't think anybody would hold it against him if he just hung it up and said, enough's enough. So that ends all the news I have for you today. Thank you very much for tuning in. I appreciate it. I have started a Facebook page, facebook.com/Gibbs Drops the Needle. I have the YouTube channel. I started an Instagram. I'm on TikTok. I'm on X. Just search Gibbs Drops the Needle on any of those platforms, and I'm sure you'll see the logo and you'll be able to follow and keep up with things. Like I said in the introduction video, I plan on being able to reach out to as many platforms as I can, so maybe that's where a TikTok and Instagram would fall into if there was breaking news that came and I didn't yet have time to make a video, but I just wanted to get things out there. So make sure you go to all those platforms, give me a like and follow, and I really appreciate it. and you'll be able to keep up with everything that I'm doing. Thank you very much for tuning in. I'm Gibbs. Until next time, stay safe and be kind.